Hello and welcome back to another video. And today we are looking at the Samsung SPH-M330. Back when I was a kid, I had one of these. Mine had an actual battery, and it didn't have the SPC written on the back of it. But man, back then, it was basically I think Aunt Tina, I think this was her phone. This was basically my daily carry when I was a kid, alongside my iPad too. Basically, I used this phone. I used one of these, not this exact phone, but one of these to take photos at the glorious resolution of 640 by 480. Yeah. Back then I didn't know nearly as much as I do now. There we go, that looks better in the camera. Basically, I didn't really know what I was doing back then. Kind of like today, and just like present me. That goes with all of us, doesn't it? This is I got. You see, the original one I had, the battery in it eventually went kaput, and it wouldn't charge. And I tried pissing with it until for some reason I opened up the this part, the screen part, and I shattered the LCD, and then it eventually got tossed, which was really annoying because I had photos on this, and I had no backups because the only way you could get photos off of this digitally, except for the methods involving barking dogs and some sort of, god damn it, Kermit, and some sort of using something like BitPim or if me and my family didn't have morals, we'd probably debark Kermit, just every fucking day I have to listen to that damn thing bark. Anyway, the only way other than via the debug port that Qualcomm has over USB is to use this awful thing called PicBridge, which is this silly thing from Sex Pests Islands, i.e. Japan, that involves, please connect the printer first. Basically, you go in, plug the phone into a printer, and then you select it. The phone seems to set up an MTP connection, but, yeah, you can't get photos off that, via any regular computer, because Japan's like, fuck you. Maybe it's Korea. Maybe it's a mixture of both. Such is life for the, colonized nations under U.S. imperialism. Anyway, I did eventually figure out how to, like, a couple months after getting this phone, the second one, my second specimen, I figured out how to actually, pull the data off one of these. Because, not only that, because, while the phone can, wrong thing. Why is it in tools, anyway? Oh, well, the phone does have Bluetooth, and it can do weird stuff like, recognize keyboards, although not fully connect to them. Probably out of some weird, I don't know. Let me turn... Yeah, you're searching for a signal. You're not going to find one because the 3G CDMA networks have been shut off. See, Why do I have to turn it on to see the things I've paired to? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing. BitPim has this nasty habit. So BitPim, the way it detects a phone is queries like all the COM ports on the system, and that's really annoying because this phone, that triggers this phone to go into the factory reset thing where it'll reset the phone, boot the phone into this thing where into the boot splash image with this blue box that says file system starting up or something, and that wipes all the data off the phone. And it's extremely fucking annoying. Thankfully, QC Super doesn't do that, which is this thing off GitHub that it's meant for more modern phones, but it works with this. Anyway, however, what else? Oh yeah. So you can try and connect to Bluetooth keyboards. Probably because this thing just runs Qualcomm's Brew 3.1.5. Pretty sure 3.5.1 is a version of Qualcomm Brew that is not physically existent in this world. So yeah, both this and this run the same OS, very similar OS on the core. Although the implementation on both of them is wildly different. Like everything, pretty much everything, except for I think the mobile. No, even the mobile market. There's only one MIF file. I am on a massive tangent. Okay, so the Bluetooth. You cannot send or receive images over Bluetooth on this phone. It's locked out. You can try and connect to Bluetooth keyboards, and I'm sure there's a Bluetooth keyboard out there that's from like 1897 that has such an old protocol where it will actually successfully and correctly pair with one of these, with the large tech over there, kind of like it way this like the phone, or maybe the phone, like on like a smartphone, it'll like generate like a 6-digit code, and then you type the code and then press enter when it's in pairing mode, and then that connects the keyboard. Yeah, that doesn't work on here. It also won't pair with like my, I think, Anker branded Chinese special or the Apple Bluetooth keyboard I have. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah, my childhood nostalgia icon runs Brew MP, just like the good old LG Voyager. Oh man, pretty cool phone. And this might also run the same OS, but I can't really tell because in fucking TrackPhone's silly wisdom or whatever, they lock out the debug port. Although in the they didn't lock out the modem, and in the modem there's this, if you send the specific AT command that lists all the things, in the bottom there's like a brew version. It has all whatever. So Qualcomm Brew BREW thing, and then 52146. That will be different on your phone. Guarantee it. We're in the brew thing. Where's the thingy? No, that's not correct. Settings. I wonder if this like thing is this in the shop. Why does it say thing on sign on failed? Yep, there we go. Storage, RAM. Though strangely enough, doesn't say the total amount of RAM. I'm guessing 4 megabytes. And ROM's probably 32 megabytes. Yeah, Brew. 3.5, 3.1.5.145 space SP0401. God, I can't read today. Is that service pack? Is that what the SP means? App Manager 2.0.1.5.1. Yeah, I seriously really riding the short bus today. Am I not? Yeah, it's that thing that's built, I think, baked into the OS. Speaking of things that are baked into the OS, at least on here, we have overexposing stuff like, I've been in the OS, the file system on this. Stuff like the, as far as I can tell, the browser is, yeah, it's locked out, is, I think, built into the, I think it's called the Application Execution Environment, the AEE. It's basically this whole UI thing that you interact with, but, you know, at least with, which, is not good, let's just put it that way, because, from a security standpoint, because, well, first off, the web browser is, not only is it quite a nice attack surface, it's, because it's also baked into the OS itself, like, into the shell, that means it has, like, the permissions of the shell, which is part of the OS, as opposed to, say, the VCast music player thing on here, which is not part of the OS, and it's actually installed separately. Oh god, it's removing all those things, because it does not have the SD card in it. Yeah, like this My Music thing, that's a separate program, and the binaries actually, yeah, it's separate .mod file. On here, I have not found any mod files. It appears that everything, except for the built-in Java games, is built into the OS, which, not exactly splendid, not exactly what I'd call intelligent security design. That's the thing with Qualcomm Brew, is, simply just nonsensical security stuff. But, yeah, this thing runs Java, including the, JVM being in the OS, brilliantly, but because the jar files are separate, you can replace them, and they won't work because it, because, the other jar file, the new jar file you would overwrite with the existing one, is going to have a different, like, entry class file. Like, the way this works is there's a database thing in here that lists not only does it list, like, the installed stuff, it also lists the class file that will execute when you click OK on this. But if you, for example, do The Price is Right, and you code your jar file to have the entry point of game_price.class, you can run your own stuff. For example, number attack, which took way too long to implement because Java is an awful programming language, and the fact that it just shoves object-oriented programming down your throat should be a, like, one of the 7 deadly sins or something. Yeah. What else? So, got this one off eBay. It was fairly cheap, one of which, because it didn't come with the battery, and it came, oh man, this thing is in awful condition, like, terrible condition, which is fine. That's why, that was part of the deal when I bought it off the, actually, no, it wasn't, listed, well, the listing said that the down button didn't work, but, through shipping, it became the up button didn't work, and it would, basically, previous owner, A, didn't seem to take care of the device. B, let it become absolutely fucking disgusting. Like, seriously, this thing was, this thing was disgusting. In fact, part of the remnants of the dirt is still in there, mainly because it's actually really difficult to get something in there to clean the dirt out. And you can actually see, 3, actually no, and 3, they spilled something on the face of this phone, and so liquid went into here, underneath, and corroded the PCB for, well, this, for the buttons here, which, that's why the whole button thing happened. But not only that, the liquid ingression actually went into the ZIF connectors and corroded both for the ribbon cables and corroded them. So let's just say I thought I killed this phone when I because the screen it would just do weird stuff, like, until I fully, like, dried it out, like the screen would act weird, like it wouldn't fully initialize or just stay white, or it would constantly vibrate itself, and yeah. And yeah, that wasn't fun. Yeah, that was not fun. Also, getting into this part is kind of difficult because you have to, well, you have that, you have the screws, but you also have to, like, wrench up, like, in between here or something, and not fun. Not fun. Just like how the CDMA networks shut down. Although at least this thing allows you to set the time on it. This thing you don't set the time on. Although weirdly, it sets. Why the hell is it in tools? Ugh. It sets it to the 4th day of the 1st month of 1981, Common Era, or AD, which is Latin for whatever. And which is what a weird date to start at. Like, why that date? And why is the time setting utility in the tools section? And why is there always a tip calculator on these feature phones? I never understood. Is there? Oh wait, no, I don't think there's battery in this. Yeah, I don't understand some things about this. Yeah, there is a there's a buffer overflow exploit on the heap for this phone. Basically, for The Price is Right, the original jar and JAD file, and the JAD file. So it's, of course, they're all demos, because fuck you, pay us more money. Number Attack isn't a demo, because I don't really care about making money off of a shitty game. Although, technically speaking, Asphalt 4 is actually a pretty good game. Anyway, so The Price is Right, so there's a thing like upgrade, it's like, would you like to upgrade to the full game? Click yes, it'll open a link and in the browser. Well, actually, no, well, yes, but more specifically, it sends the link to something in the phone, either in the JVM blob or the OS itself. I think it's the OS itself that handles, like, URIs and URLs. Like, so if you modify that URL in the JAD file, that normally goes to the now long since non-existent web page where you would download the full game. The AC finally turned off. I swear that thing, like, the AC runs like 70% of the time, and now everything sounds weird because my brain got used to the whatever. So if you modify that URL to be like tel, comma, / you can, like, it'll like open up the phone dialer instead. So if you instead replace that string with a very long string that's slightly less than hex 200 in length, it'll actually crash the phone. Well, not only, yeah, it crashes the phone. It crashes the shell thing, and it'll kind of like screen will go black, show up with the whole thing, and then reset it. It'll reopen the shell down to the home screen. So yeah, although annoyingly, the RAM, really annoyingly, is the RAM dump feature on the Qualcomm debug port is disabled. So I can't really use that. Lovely. Because without it, it's basically just shooting in the dark. So yeah, that's the SPH-M330. The actually broken talk button. Nostalgic to me, and actually fairly decent phone. Honestly, this would have been a fine phone back then.